And joining us right now from UConn in his second season with the Trailblazers, it's center Donovan Clingan. And Donovan, I'm looking right now at an NCAA bracket. St. John's will play Duke in the Sweet 16. UConn will play Michigan State. How badly do you want the rematch to get a chance to get at the Storm's ass and get revenge for the 2 losses the Huskies suffered to them on the season?
Oh man, I want it badly. You know, I was at the Big East championship game. It's hard to. It was a tough pill to swallow, but you know, we got an opportunity to go out there and have the rematch in the Elite Eight. So hopefully we can get it done.
Yeah, no question about it. Now, this was something that we saw in the Brooklyn game with you and Denny. You had a number of friends and family on hand to show support. How much do you enjoy when you go back east to have the opportunity to play in front of friends and family, people that you know?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, obviously, dreamed of making the NBA as a kid, was playing with some of my friends and having my family there, and then just to be on that stage with all those people watching in person is truly special. So I never take any of those moments for granted, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I see the same thing with Denny. I saw a bunch of Jewish supporters and fans there in Brooklyn. They were holding up the Israeli flag, and he always makes sure to go over there and show them love, and they were chanting his name. And he feels the same way, that he's just happy to have people show up to want to watch him ball, and it's cool to see you guys have that type of support.
Oh, yeah, that's real special. I mean, he's got a great fan base everywhere we go, and, I know he truly appreciates everyone.
All right, last night was a lot of fun. Tamani Kamara, Donovan, scored a career-high 35. He had 32 points through 3 on a perfect 8 of 8 shooting. How much did you enjoy that heat check that he put up in the fourth from the logo?
Oh, man, I was ready to run on the floor and tackle him after that one. But Tamani puts a lot of work in. He gets a lot of shots up on a daily basis, and to see him have a game like that where he literally can't miss is I was really happy for him, and excited to be able to be on his team and share that moment with him.
Yeah, you talk about the work that he puts in. Tamani leads the NBA in miles traveled on defense. He's also an Ironman. He's one of 5 players who have started and played in each game this season. How much do you enjoy just being around Tamani, because you get a chance to see him work, not just during games, but during practice, and see the time that he puts in to be able to do the things that he does?
I mean, it's awesome. Me and Tamani actually, have a really great relationship. And obviously he goes through a lot of pain picking up the best offensive player in the game. He's like you said, he's the most miles traveled defensively, and it just shows how much work he puts into his body, how much work he puts into his game, and it's pretty impressive seeing him go out there playing 35 minutes a night, picking up the best player defensively, and really just go out there and leave it all on the floor on a nightly basis.
We're talking with Blazers center Donovan Clingan. Now, I love the Tamani Ironman stat, but how about this one here? This might be my favorite stat of the season. How about Robert Williams leading the NBA in blocked three-pointers? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, between him and Matisse, they somehow get their hands on every 3-point shot that goes up near them. It's impressive. Rob being how big he is, and just the way he moved, the way he could close out on shooters. It's impressive, and I got to start taking some notes.
I've heard a number of guys that when they enter the league as rookies, they learn a lot in year one when it comes to nutrition or training and what it takes to handle the grind of the NBA season. When you came into Media Day this year, you looked awesome, leaner, more muscle. What adjustments did you make or learn following your rookie season that allowed you to transform your body?
Really just eating the right way, making sure, you condition, you're in the right shape, being able to, it's important to be able to play 30, 35 minutes, but being able to, withstand, your productivity, being able to be productive late in the game in the fourth quarter when, it's a close game, it's crunch time, really just being able to still be productive, still have the effect that you have on the game, and really just, trying to make sure I was strong. And really just, I feel like for me, it was being in the best shape possible.
No, you look great. Oh, by the way, congratulations on your engagement, Donovan. That's awesome news.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Do you guys have a wedding date set yet?
Not yet. We're still working on it. It's a long process. Just trying to finish through the season and then focus on that.
No, I understand. I saw some of the pictures that were posted. Where was that? Was that the Oregon coast?
No, that was in Cabo. We were in Cabo.
Oh, nice.
Break.
How nice was that?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
That's great, man. I could get to Cabo, especially during the wintertime up here. Now, I know when you arrived in town, you were excited just to get a chance to get a feel for the area. How much you're enjoying the Northwest now that you're settled in and know your way around a bit?
I love it. I love it out here. Everyone's nice. Great people out here. It's peaceful. There's a lot of good golf courses, good fishing spots, good food. So just being able to explore, my two years here, it's been awesome.
Now, I know you love to fish. How many of your teammates have you been able to get out and go fishing with you?
I think just Denny so far. I'm trying to get a couple of guys to go out maybe this summer, but right now just Denny. But we're trying to get some more guys out there.
Yeah, you got to recruit them. How's the golf game coming along for you?
It's not the easiest thing.
Yeah.
It's definitely difficult, but it's fun. It's able to get out on the course. There's a lot of nice courses out here, so just being able to enjoy it is special.
Do you get a chance to take your clubs on the road, or are you just too busy with the games and the travel?
Too busy with games and travel. Focus on winning, man.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. After your career high night last week with 28 points and 13 rebounds, I was thinking about your game. Donovan, you've improved in every category. You're an elite offensive rebounder, rim protection, minutes played, the three-point shooting, the screen and roll game, your finishing. Like, of all the areas of improvement in year number 2, like, is there one particular part of your game you're most proud of in terms of what you've been able to accomplish this season?
I feel like rebounding. Just being able to be relentless on the glass, offensively, defensively. Crash the glass every single time, and I feel like it helps the team, get more shots up. It just helps the flow of the game. It helps, with our energy on the bench, and I just feel like it's something that I've worked hard for, and I'm gonna continue to get better at.
I think it's been great to see how the coaches are using you in the screen game now. You're rolling and attacking the rim, and I'm curious, what is your first read in those situations? Is it the ball handler's defender, or is it your defender? How are you seeing that?
More my defender, seeing if they're blitzing the ball screen, and if I could get out early. If I'm getting out early, then I could roll early and make the read, whether it's go finish, hit the open guy for a shot, or whatever it is.
Now, are those plays that are called, or are you just simply going off the read?
Just going off the read, really. Yeah, it's not really a set play because you never know what the defense is going to throw at you.
That's great. How much work did you put in during the offseason on your three-point shot? I mean, you seem real comfortable with those opportunities now, and so I'm just wondering, like, day to day, how does that look when you're working on that aspect of your game?
Yeah, just working on, staying consistent, shooting the ball the same way every time. And, every day it was getting up, a couple hundred reads, just seeing the ball go in, helps my confidence.
The other aspect of your game I'm enjoying, Donovan, is you've really become an emotional leader, an intimidator. You're not afraid to mix it up out there and stand up for your teammates. How have you enjoyed growing into that role, and was that a conscious decision that you made before the year?
No, I mean, I feel like in college, just having that competitive spirit, just that willingness to want to win every single day. It comes out when games are close, when things get chippy. I have that competitive spirit where, I just want to win, and I'm going to go out there and fight and leave it all on the floor and do whatever I can to help my team win.
We're talking to Donovan Clingan from the Trailblazers now. Obviously, you've won a lot of games in your career, especially in college. The team is in a playoff push for the first time in several years. How are you and the guys enjoying the bigger games and having, something to play for as you enter the final couple of weeks of the season?
It's nice to try to compete for the play-in, try to compete for playoffs. But at the same time, it's getting us ready for, those playing games and those playoff games where, we know it's not going to be a blowout every time. We know it's going to be a close game, and just learning, how to finish those games, how to play well late down the stretches is really important.
We hear this a lot with like coaches who are former point guards having a chance to be a point guard to play for him. But in your situation, like Tiago Splitter is a former big man. How is it Is it helpful to have a coach who also played a similar position that kind of understands what you're battling in year two?
For sure. He's been in my position for, many years. So, he knows what I see out there, and, he's able to talk me through certain things. He's able to help me out with certain stuff. So, it's definitely nice having a big guy as a coach.
All right. The one thing I've been doing, Donovan, is I'm encouraging my friends and all the Blazer fans I know in Rip City to get out to Moda Center and watch you guys play as you make this push for the play-in. And one thing I love about you is that you seem to draw energy from the home crowd. Can you talk about the importance of having the fans there to support and be behind you and make noise and get that emotion going in those big spots and big moments of games?
Yeah, the fans are what gives us energy every single night. We need the fans there, especially now, late down the stretch. Those fans get us going. They give us the energy to go out there and have something to play for, have something to win for, and you know how much the fans love Rip City. So we need them to continue to show out. They've been great all year, and the last couple of weeks we need them more than ever.
Yeah, it's time for Rip City to show up. Now, has Coach Splitter talked to you guys? Has he discussed the play-in and talked about specifics or what your guys' goals are the rest of the way?
Well, not really much. Not really. Right now we're just focused on winning every game we have left. Try to get the best seeding possible. To have some home games. So just really, our mindset right now is just winning here on out.
All right, one final question for you. For someone like Sidy Cissoko on a two-way deal who grinds and works and puts himself in a position to get a contract and he got a 2-year deal, how cool is that for you and your teammates to be able to see a guy like that who grinds and then plays his way into an opportunity like that?
It's big time. Sidy is a elite competitor. There's games where he's banged up, but he goes out there and gives everything he's got. He works very hard. He's in the gym every day, learning on how to get better in certain areas, and just having a guy like that on the floor who's aggressive, who guards, who has that competitive spirit. It's fun to share the floor with.
Now, I'm trying to remember what you told me at media day. Did you say that your preference, your number one thing to fish for, you love tuna? Is that what you said?
Yeah, tuna's up there for sure.
How hard is a tuna to those can get pretty big? How hard is it when you hook a tuna to get that thing on board?
It's not easy. It definitely takes some time.
Hey, Donovan, congratulations on your success so far through a couple of seasons here in Rip City, and thank you for your time. And we just wish you guys the best the rest of the way, and look forward to the play-in.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.